Hey, we are back for the lightning talks. With me is Sherry from Silverstripe, another Silverstripe native. And we've got a perfect follow-up to John's talk because Sherry is going to be talking about multi-factor authentication. Sherry, stage is yours.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sherry. I have a short talk about multi-factor authentication, or MFA. It actually provides an extra layer of security for CMS administrators, content editors, and stack managers. How do we install MFA for Silverstripe? We just use the MFA module using Composer, but you also need to install one or both of verification methods. In the left side, you see the time-based one-time password authenticator, which you can use it, which you can install the TOTP authenticator module. On the right side of my screen, you can see the other verification method called WebAuthn authenticator, which is used with multi-platform authenticators such as YubiKey security key. You may choose to configure the module to support single platform authenticators such as fingerprint scanners. What you need to configure? You need to configure encryption key for TOTP authenticator, and it's just by adding the Silverstripe MFA secret key in your environment file. And how would you generate a secret key for this key? There are many ways you can basically do this. In here, I just use the PHP command, which is using the base 64 encode, and I'm just using 32 characters, which is just a good baseline, but depending on your information security controls, you can possibly choose different number of characters. So now I would like to just demo what the MFA in practice. So this is on my local. Basically, I just try to log in, and I already installed MFA here. So if I just go username password, what it takes me here, it actually asks me, pings me if I want to set up my MFA, but also because in this case, this is optional, it just lets me to set up later. For this case, I just get it started. In here, like I said, now I added 2 verification methods. If I wanted to set up with a YubiKey, I just go over here and then register a key. But because I don't have any YubiKey here, I wouldn't be able to show you. I use the TOTP authenticator app in this case. Now, what I do, I just use Google Authenticator app and I scan the code that it provides me. I can enter manually, as you can see here, or I just use the hash to scan it. And the app gives me different code every minute, and I would just go to the next and enter the code that it gives to me. It is 061792. So what provides me here? It provides me with like a recovery code, and this recovery code, they're supposed to be actually downloaded or saved in a safe place. There was a question, I think in the stage earlier, that what if that you lost your phone, so that how would you install it? And this is a very good example of the point where you lost your phone, so you can use this recovery codes. Another note I think Andy made is like, don't save these codes in your LastPass, because potentially you have used MFA for your LastPass and you lost your phone, you kind of stuck. So basically you can just download it and then finish the process. That takes you that shows you that your MFA is set up, and you would be able to log in. Basically, if you go to settings and under access, the options are shown over here. That in this case, like I said, the MFA is optional, so you would get a chance to skip it. But if you wanted to make it required, which is recommended, you would just choose this option. Also, there is another option where you would be able to set the date that from that date your MFA becomes required. So you give notifications to your users that you have, let's say, a month to set up your MFA, and from that point onwards, it becomes required. The other part that I wanted to show you, basically your members are shown over security section here, and you would be able to see the settings in under each member's information. You would be able to add another MFA here if they haven't added, or in case that you wanted to reset the recovery codes, or this is the case that I suppose that you provided to your support team, that they would be able to help your users in case they got stuck. So you would be able to remove their authenticator, so that lets them to set it up from the scratch. So back to my presentation. There are complexities across setting up MFA in multiple environments, and one of them is that basically imagine you have two environments, prod and UAT, and you have two sets of keys, two sets of MFA secret keys for these two environments. And what happens when your users that are registered in prod through and their MFA are registered, and you wanted to bring all the data, you want to restore your database from prod into UAT, then your users get stuck. And the other problem is that WebAuthn is being tied to a domain. So again, the same problem, logins would not work when prod database is copied to UAT. There are some solutions around this, like suggested that you possibly turn up MFA in your UAT environments, because, for example, you have already some sort of protection around your UAT, like whitelisting certain IPs for your UAT, or you can use the same MFA secret key for different environments, so that your data restoration, snapshot restorations would not become a problem. Here are some references, just a blog about this module, and also links to the GitHub of the modules that I have mentioned here. And thank you very much for listening to my talk. It was my first time giving presentation to StripeCon, and it was such a pleasure to give this presentation. Thank you all.